attorney had instructed him to plead the fifth. That case was ultimately dismissed, as were two other cases on the same day, all involving the Horse Cave Police Department. According to Hart County Sheriff Boston Hensley, on Tuesday, 36-year-old David Rice of Munfordville was arrested at the Hart County Judicial Center on a grand jury indictment warrant for flagrant non-support and persistent felony offender. Rice was lodged in the Hart County Jail in lieu of a $5,000 cash bond. And a Hart County bench warrant was executed on 36-year-old Nathan Horn of Munfordville for a probation violation on original charges of possession of a controlled substance, drug paraphernalia, criminal mischief, and public intoxication. He was lodged in the Hart County Jail in lieu of a $25,000 cash bond. Right now it's 6:17 a.m. on this Thursday morning, 29 degrees.
U.S. Bank encourages you to think outside the square. U.S. Bank in Glass.
We're always on call, and we answer the call. We know that's what keeps our loyal customers coming back season after season, year after year. With so many vying for your business, improving our service is not just a good practice, it's a necessity. From our easy-to-navigate website to our easy-to-deal-with service department, we work hard to make it easy for you to choose us. No one keeps you rolling like BR Tire on Lovers Lane in Bowling Green and West Main Street in Glasgow.
The news you've all been waiting for has now arrived. As part of their going out of business sale, Unique Gifts is now selling Pandora jewelry at 40% off. No more exceptions. The entire store is 40% off. So come pick out your charms, necklaces, purses, fiesta wear, and more, and save 40%. And yes, that includes Pandora jewelry. So hurry into Unique Gifts before your favorites are gone.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Hello.
That'll be $349.07. Sir, I can't take that, and that's only about $120 anyway.
But the Magic Man pays 3 times face value at Glasgow Coin and Jewelry. Watch this.
We can make that happen.
Top dollar guaranteed.
Not to be confused with Magic Mike.
In more local news from Tom Latek with Kentucky Today, he said a cold, blustery day failed to keep well more than 1,000 teachers and other public school employees from a rally on the front steps of the state capitol yesterday. Most of the attendees were from the eastern and northeastern Kentucky, where several school districts closed so teachers could rally to preserve their pensions and funding for education. Now, among those on hand was Rebecca Howell. She's the principal of Oakview Elementary in the Ashland Independent School District, who said their superintendent, Sean Howard, was very supportive of their trip. He closed the schools. He provided transportation to bring the people down there, so they had a really good turnout, she said. Hopewell said despite the weather, she came for her children. She said Frankfort lawmakers have not seen the last of teacher protests. We're going to continue to come out and support public education. It's what we've dedicated our lives to, and it's what our passion is. Howell also took issues with Governor Matt Bevin for his comments about teachers. Their superintendent, Sean Howard, was the former superintendent with Glasgow Independent Schools. The Hart County Fiscal Court will meet this morning in a regular session. Included on this morning's agenda, they'll discuss road viewers' report of the extension to the Childress Road. They'll submit the 2018-2019 budget to the Fiscal Court. They're also expected to approve the jail budget for the upcoming fiscal year. They're also expect to approve advertising for the LGEA and CRA hearing, and they expect to approve Judge Terry Martin to apply for an 80-20 bridge program. A new report indicates there's much work to be done in Kentucky to improve health among women and children. The national report from the group America's Health Rankings places the Commonwealth 42nd when compared to other states for women and children's health. And that's down 8 spots from 2016. Dr. Julie DeFari is the chief medical officer for United Healthcare in Kentucky, which released the findings. She explains that some of the significant areas for improvement are related to self-care.
We see that behavior still drive a large portion of all outcomes. In all women ages 18 to 44, there's a high rate of tobacco use, obesity, diabetes, and we've also seen a high level of drug deaths.
Since 2016, drug deaths in Kentucky have increased 27% for the 18 to 44 age group. That report notes some strengths for the state. They include affordable child care, low prevalence of substance dependence or abuse among kids, and high incidence of children and women getting their regular checkups from their doctors. DeFari acknowledges the health of all people is important, but says the data on women and children can help the healthcare community better serve their specific needs.
This report is the what, and I don't know that we understand all of the whys. I think it's important that healthcare providers and policymakers use this information to help the citizens of Kentucky really understand how to take better control of their health.
And she notes the findings are not meant to be discouraging.
Even though there has been a decline in the overall ranking, I don't want people to lose hope. Recognizing that there are some challenges and some struggles, it's beneficial so that we can get back on the right track.
In the report, Kentucky also did well in the areas of health policy, ranking 17th for women and 6th for children. And the state received good scores in the categories of missed school days and high school graduation rates. With WCLU Local News, I'm Angela Briggs, 6:22 a.m., 29 degrees.
It's been another great week to be a Scotty. Prom tickets will be sold at lunch today and then tomorrow morning, 7:30 to 8 a.m. No sales after 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. All balances must be paid in full prior to getting prom tickets. Seniors, you must also check your balances and have them paid prior to reserving your ticket. Junior boys, please bring in packs of water for after prom this Saturday and leave them in the front office. Junior girls, please bring packs of Powerade or Gatorade for after prom. WKU summer online courses will open for registration this Friday. Keep an eye on wku.edu/dual-credit/online website. The Work Ethics Scholarship deadline has been extended to Friday, March 30th. Please turn in the completed applications to Dr. Allen. The GHS academic team wrapped up this year's Governor's Cup season at the Gott House this weekend with some great results. The quick recall team, led by Rajiv Nair, Garrison Page, Mason Reed, Daniel Dill, and Parker Bannister, made it to the quarterfinals before losing a heartbreaker to Johnson Central to finish 5th overall. This is the first time that GHS has made it on the stage for 2 years in a row. Individually, Rajiv Nair placed 10th overall in social studies, Daniel Dill placed 9th in language arts, and Garrison Page 3rd in language arts. The Scotties placed 10th in the overall team standings out of 250 high schools that were represented at the state competition. Congratulations and way to go, Scotties. This has been McKay Bowles for this week's Scotty Report. Shine on, Scotties, and stay true to the blue.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Ed Huckleberry. Kentucky teachers turned out in droves on a snowy day to keep the political heat on the Kentucky legislature. Their message that they'll remember what happens to their retirement benefits come Election Day. Attorney General Andy Beshear joined the rally at the state capitol.
If they pass Senate Bill 1, I know you will see them in the ballot box, and I will see them in court.
About 2,000 teachers and other school employees took part in the march around the state capitol, their main concern being the proposal to decrease retirement benefits in order to fund the failing public pension system instead of seeking new revenues. Frustrated with repeated delays costing taxpayers millions of dollars, the Kentucky Senate has voted to effectively end a project that would bring high-speed internet capability to one of the poorest states in the country. But state officials warn it would likely cost more to kill the project than it would be to finish it. That's because the state could be responsible for paying $286 million to pay off a loan to its private partners that have a contract to build that network. In sports, Western Kentucky University is on its way to New York City. The Hilltoppers beat Oklahoma State last night, 92-84, to advance in the NIT semifinals. The University of Kentucky enters Sweet 16 play tonight in the NCAA tournament. The Cats take on Kansas State in Atlanta with a late tip-off. And on Wednesday, the University of Louisville parted ways with interim head coach David Padgett.
It wasn't a surprise. It's one of those things where you know the day's coming, but it doesn't change the fact that when it's there, it's a weird feeling.
Padgett's record in one season, 22-14. I'm Ed Huckleberry.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Great art? Reserve your tickets early and see the Speed Art Museum's popular painting show, Women Artists in the Age of Impressionism, on view now until Mother's Day, May 13th. Honor the women in your life and see the remarkable works of more than 30 female artists. Experience the empowering and stunning paintings of women who overcame the odds to study and exhibit in Paris in the late 1800s. Tickets available at speedmuseum.org. speedmuseum.org.
The Eagles, live in concert. Performing over 4 decades of hits.
Take it to the limit. One more.
Rupp Arena, April 10th.
Life in the fast lane.
Get tickets now at livenation.com. The Eagles, Hotel California. The 40th Anniversary Deluxe Edition is available everywhere now. For more, check eagles.com.
South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David, Jerry, and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit southcentralkymonuments.com.
Local news time from WCLU is 6:28, and we have 29 degrees from the studios of WCLU. In area funeral announcements this hour, Dr. Ray H. Houchin, age 83, of Park City, died Wednesday at the Medical Center of Bowling Green. The Edmonson County native was born in 1935 to the late Mark Houchin and Camilla Howard Houchin. He was married to the late Melita Houchin and Sharon Ray Houchin. Dr. Houchin practiced as a chiropractor for over 57 years and was the owner of the Dr. Ray H. Houchin Chiropractic Clinic. He was a member of the Park City Masonic Lodge, Kentucky Association of Chiropractors, and by the Cedar Springs United Baptist Church. He is survived by his son, Chuck, and Aaron Houchin of Mount Sterling, stepson, Troy and Leslie Perkins of Bowling Green, one stepdaughter, Debbie Childress of Boonville, Indiana, 4 grandchildren, Cindy Russellberg, Josh Hess, Lydia Perkins, and Grant Perkins, and 6 great-grandchildren, a sister-in-law, Beverly Houchin, special friend, Brenda Cowan, and several nieces and nephews. He was preceded in death by a son, Roy Houchin, 3 brothers, Hamilton Houchin, Buster Houchin, and Jesse Houchin, and a sister, Faye Houchin. Service for Dr. Ray H. Houchin will be at 2 o'clock on Saturday at the Patton Park City Chapel, and terms to be in the Lambert Cemetery. A Masonic service will be Friday from 7 p.m. will be Friday at 7 p.m. at the Patton Funeral Home. Visitation will be from noon until 8 on Friday, and from 9 until 2 on Saturday at the funeral home. Memorial contributions can be made to the Lambert Cemetery in care of Jeff Doyle at 147 Alfred Cook Road in Park City. Herbert James Milam, age 60, of Glasgow, died Sunday at NHC Healthcare. A native of Garden City, Michigan, he was the son of the late William Thaxton Milam and Evelyn Maxine Belcher Milam. He was formerly an employee of the engineering department of the Tennessee Christian Hospital and a member of the Church of Christ. Survivors include his wife, Shirley Bowles Milam, a brother, William Thaxton Milam, Jr., of Elizabeth, Tennessee, 2 sisters, Nancy Milam Portis of Dearborn Heights, Michigan, and Diane Milam of Washington State. Special nephew, Will Milam of Glasgow. Special friends, Anne and Rick Martin of Glasgow, and several nieces, nephews, and great-nephews. survive. Services for Herbert James Milam will be at 2 o'clock Saturday at the Hatcher and Sadler Funeral Home, with burial to be in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation after 2 p.m. Friday at the funeral home. Alternate expressions of sympathy can be made to the American Cancer Society. Dimple Francis, age 78, of Glasgow, died Wednesday at her residence. Dimple worked as a licensed practical nurse at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital for 8 years. She then served as a housekeeping supervisor at NHC for over 22 years and was a member of the First Church of the Nazarene in Glasgow. Survivors include her husband, Curtis Francis of Glasgow, 2 sons, Tim Francis and wife Karen, and Tony Francis and wife Tamra, all of Glasgow. 4 grandchildren, Matthew Francis, Ryan Francis, Caitlin Brewer, and Josh Francis, all of Glasgow. 6 great-grandchildren, Melody, Maverick, Braylon, Josh, Kate Francis, and Avery and Raylan Brewer, all of Glasgow. 1 brother, Jesse McIntyre, and a daughter, Bonita Poor of Summershade. A half-brother, Fairleigh McIntyre of Indiana. And 4 half-sisters, Peggy McCoy of Summershade, Bonnie Mae Shaw of Summershade, Frida Reese of Edmonton, and Linda Howell of Summershade. Services for Dimple Francis will be at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, with burial to follow in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation from 2 until 8 Friday at the funeral home. Herschel Logston, age 72, of Horse Cave, died Tuesday at his residence. He was a retired administrative officer for the Job Corps and a member of the Cave Hill Missionary Baptist Church. He was a veteran from the U.S. Army in Vietnam War. He is survived by his wife, Cheryl Logston, a daughter, Patty Markwell, and husband, Dana of Horse Cave, a sister, Loretta Crane of Horse Cave, 2 brothers, Herman Logston and wife Kathy of Munfordville, and Herbert Tots Logston and wife Lillian of Horse Cave, a sister-in-law, Betty Logston of Munfordville, a brother-in-law, Jack Anderson of Arizona. Service for Herschel Logston will be at 1 o'clock Saturday at the Brooks Funeral Home, interments to be in the Logston Family Cemetery. Visitation begins at 11 o'clock on Friday morning. Walter W.D. Wolf, age 81, of Cleabet, died Sunday in Louisville. He was a retired operations manager for Armour Food Company, and also worked for the Transportation Department of Edmonson County Schools. He was a member of the Mount Zion United Baptist Church and is survived by his wife, Wanda Lee Bunton, 2 sons, Eddie Wayne Smith of Shelbyville and Jason D. Wolf of Bowling Green, a daughter, Karen Pierce of Louisville, a brother, Ray Wolf of Alabama, 3 grandchildren, Brittany Stanley, Kristen and Kellen Pierce, and a great-granddaughter, Oakley Spencer. Service for Walter W.D. Wolf will be at 2 o'clock Friday at the Mount Zion United Baptist Church, with interment to be in the Mount Zion. Visitation begins today at 11 o'clock at the Patton Funeral Home, Brownsville Chapel, and after 2 p.m. Friday at the church. Contributions can be made to the American Cancer Society of Bowling Green. Nicholas Kyle Back, age 37, of Lawrence, Kansas, died Wednesday at his residence. He is survived by his parents, Calman Back and wife Betty, and Phyllis Ozar Murphy and husband Gary. 6 sisters, Melanie Back and Abigail Rogers of Munfordville, Kayla Harrington of Park City, Crystal Gibson of Munfordville, Ginger Brooks of Cub Run, Rita Brewer of Bowling Green. 6 brothers, James Rogers of Lexington, Aaron Murphy of Park City, Michael Murphy of Dallas, David Kennedy of Indiana, Scott Kennedy of Indiana, and Sean Thompson of Los Angeles. A funeral mass for Nicholas Kyle Back will be held at 1 o'clock Friday at Our Lady of the Caves Catholic Church. Interment is to be in the St. Benedict Cemetery at Wax. Visitation begins at 2 p.m. this afternoon at the Brooks Funeral Home. Joyce Ann Bonnell, age 61, of Horse Cave, died Wednesday at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. She was a native of Horse Cave and a former employee at Dart Container. Survivors include a daughter, Pam Davis, a brother, Donnie Middleton, sisters, Debbie Richardson, Janice Simpkins, 4 grandchildren, ex-husband, Mitchell Bonnell. She was preceded in death by a son, Stephen Barber, and a brother, Carl Middleton. Graveside service for Travis Morgan officiating will be at 1 o'clock Wednesday, March 21st, at the Pierce Cemetery in Hart County. There was no visitation. The Bob Hunt Funeral Chapel assisted the family with the arrangements for Joyce Ann Bunnell. Services for Joyce Lee Butler, age 84, of Glasgow, will be at 11 o'clock Friday at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Burials to be in the Butler Huffman Cemetery. Services for Rusty Walker Anderson, age 47, of Glasgow, will be today at 2 o'clock at the Glasgow Baptist Church. Burial will be in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home is in charge of those arrangements. Services for Georgiana Buchanan Fisher, age 67, of Scottsville, will be today at 2 p.m. I'm sorry, that's at 1 p.m. at the Scottsville First United Methodist Church, with burial to follow in the Crescent Hill Cemetery in Scottsville. Harwood and Strode Funeral Home is in charge. Service for Timmy Lee Young, age 63, of Edmonton, will be today at 1 o'clock at the Smith Cemetery at Sulphur Well, with the Butler Funeral Home in charge. Services for Alice Faye Scott Bryant, age 69, of Tompkinsville, will be today at 1 o'clock at the Oakley Tribble Funeral Home. Burial in the Old Mount Hermon Cemetery. Services for Eugene Paul, age 35, of Radcliffe, will be today at 11 o'clock at the Owens Chapel Baptist Church in Cave City. Burial will follow in the Owens Chapel Church Cemetery. The Hayes, Watts, and Purcell Funeral Home is in charge of those arrangements. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary.
Honey, have you ever tried to picture what our retirement years will look like? I see a big RV and lots of travel.
Well, whatever those years look like will depend on how well we're prepared.
So we should start shopping now for the RV.
Not shopping, saving. We got to make a plan. Figure out where we are right now and where we want to be when the time comes. I want to make sure the family's covered, and then we have the retirement of our dreams.
You mean the one with the big RV?
Or maybe the one where I buy a bass boat.
Whatever your dreams for retirement are, Woodman can help. Hi, I'm Jeff Sneed, your local Woodman of the World representative. Call me at 270-646-0354 for a free needs analysis. I'll help you evaluate your future financial needs and recommend solutions to get you there.
Insurance protection, financial security. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society of Omaha, Nebraska. Woodman, with you through life.
What will you begin in 2018? A big clean out of an attic or garage, or a small decluttering project? Having someone come in twice a week to cook some meals, or having someone go to the grocery for you so you can actually have time to cook? Will you begin to focus on the health and safety of the older adults in your family? If the answer to any of these questions is a big fat yes, then you need to call Time Savers. I'm Elizabeth Downing, and at Time Savers, we are all about helping people begin new habits, new projects, and new routines, things that will increase happiness and decrease stress. So begin by picking up the phone to call 270-792-5703 or go online to mytimesaversky.com. At Time Savers, we're ready to begin when you are. 270-792-5703 or mytimesaversky.com.
Let's prepare for the day by understanding the weather forecast. And here we go with a check of the weather. It's Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel trying to explain a few things here this morning.
An inch or so of snowfall across parts of the area. Heads up this morning. If you did get snow, there may be some slush or black ice around. Sky's clear, and it's cold out there. We'll go through the day with plenty of sunshine up near 50. We'll cloud over tonight down near 32 degrees. So jackets again tomorrow morning. Maybe an umbrella in the afternoon. Cloudy, slight chance of showers, 50 degrees. But I think the bulk of the rain comes in tomorrow night, upper 30s, and then some thunderstorms around on Saturday. Highs low 50s. Clouds will finally give way to sunshine on Sunday with highs in the mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
All right, Ray, we had about 3/100ths of an inch of what you're calling snow yesterday. In the bucket, I guess we'll say. The winds have died down quite a bit. We're, let's see, at northwest out of 2 miles an hour, 87% humidity, and 30.23 is the pressure this morning. It's 27 degrees here at 6:40. Let me give you some more information. Today is the scheduled day for the countywide cleanup down at Haywood and at Austin. And because of the funeral services today, Excuse me. The funeral services for Rusty Anderson today. Because of that, the recycling center at Haywood and at Austin only going to be open for drop-off from 7 until 11 today. Again, that's the Haywood and the Austin volunteer fire departments. They're still going to host the cleanup day, but it's only going to be open between the hours of 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. at Haywood and at Austin today. Also, some travel information. South Green Street in Glasgow is going to be closed to traffic, starting at Bunch and Leslie, all the way to the public square. That will start at 10 o'clock this morning until late afternoon for the funeral of Rusty Anderson. Also, additional barricades set up at Broadway, East College, Wayne Street, Liberty Street. If you need to travel in this area, you'll need to choose an alternate route. And